there's this 23-year-old mystery. So, I made this joke about like high school in 2003, the high school transcript thing. Well, from that time period, in 2002, there were construction workers downtown that discovered a human body underneath like this huge pile of bricks, just in a ravine. And here we are, over 2 decades later, and they still have no idea who it is. But they claim like this is like a mummified body that they found underneath the bricks. And it's just some guy. And they were able to create like a 3D model of what he looked like, some Richmond man. And I guess, he had sat there undisturbed for quite a while. They estimate that he was between 50 to 70 years old. They found his shoes nearby.
Okay.
Size 10 blue slip-on shoes, just chilling. And I guess this guy RIP'd under a pile of bricks, and that was it. Like no one went looking for him. Everyone, and he just, he didn't live on. He did the opposite of live on.
Yeah.
But remained like undisturbed up until 2002. And then some construction workers found him, and they uncovered the guy, and they're like, oh, wow, look, it's a mummified person here in Richmond.
Yeah.
And then, they just can't figure out like who was this? They have no idea.
Well, it sounds like a snappy dresser, blue slip-on shoes. I mean, players got to play.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a crazy way to go though. And then for no one to be able to identify you for 23 years, it's gnarly.
Yeah.
And like, you're asking about the mummy thing, like, obviously, like I said earlier, I am an expert on mummies.
Yeah.
You had to been preserved in a type of way where whatever the circumstances with the bricks falling and the way they fell and him being in a position or whatever created a mummy scenario, which is, it's kind of crazy that happened. I can't imagine the guys that are working construction. They're just like, hauling some bricks away, just a regular day on the job. And then boom, there's a dead guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's definitely pretty crazy.
They don't get paid extra for that.
Yeah.
And then who do you call? You call your boss? Do you call the
Ghostbusters?
Cops? Call fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I think I saw something about that, and like they're like using new technology and like AI to try and figure out what he looks like, and they're gonna put his picture up, I think. So hopefully now with people using the internet a bunch, his picture gets around and maybe somebody recognizes him, which is, I don't know, man, that's
good luck.
That's a stretch, but I mean, what else are they going to do? Like, you imagine, like, think about like the TV shows about like missing persons and like the cold cases. That's a big like TV show, crime drama topic, but I like those because the person is usually like really adamant about trying to figure out what happened to this case that a bunch of people seemingly like gave up on or hit a bunch of dead ends, and it's just been sitting. So I'm guessing that's probably the case with this. Like somebody's now getting into it to like, all right, we got to figure out what's going on with my man with the blue slip-ons.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to come and claim that.
Dude, maybe North End Juice knows something. They have a smoothie called Blue Suede Shoes.
Ah, they do.
They must know something.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, they must know something that we don't. Yeah, so on that note, there is an investigator that's working this case. So her name is Laura Newell. And this says that this case is one of approximately 335 unidentified cases that Newell's office has dating back to 1946.
God damn.
So pretty crazy. I guess this is maybe not this exact scenario, but it's more common than you might think.
Yeah. I mean, it's at least from the from like the crime drama, like cold case shows, cold case, missing persons, whatever. There's like a room with a shelf or shelves with like hundreds of boxes filled with files from generations ago, decades ago. So, they're 40, 50, 60 years back, covered in dust because no one could figure it out. And like, that's a dramatization, but that's kind of close to reality. I feel like, especially in a place like Richmond with all of the history that has been documented here, Civil War, fires. There was an extreme like spike in crime for a few, like I want to say a couple decades, maybe 20 something years. There was
even
like
the
lots
story
of crime.
that you brought up about this place, about this building.
Oh yeah, like this place, like the guy that used to own this building, ran it as a gay bar, but it was taking advantage of gay and lesbian patrons because this was the only place to go. But he was like a mobster. He had people killed if they didn't do what he wanted. So maybe one of those folks is like accidentally mummified somewhere. Maybe this is one of the guys. Like who knows?
Yeah.